So good afternoon, enjoy your meal, and thanks to be here. And yes, we are nearly at the end of the Wellbeing Week with this fourth session. So I'm very pleased to give the floor to Deborah Marek, who will be our coach this time and facilitator for a session devoted to new ways of co-working using collective intelligence and wisdom. Please do not forget also to fill the form, let me say, regarding your remaining questions. And so, Deborah, the floor is yours.
Is it working? Yes. So hello again. I'm very happy to share this time. So I think we've got 1 hour all together for this lunchtime. So I'm very happy because I'm going to share with you one of my passion. It's collective intelligence and how a team, a collective, a group of people can really have different way of being together and make a better time and having better idea all together. So that's really what we're going to talk about for 1 hour. But first, because it's always strange for me to say we're going to talk about collective, but it seems like I'm going to talk and you're going to listen. Oh, come on. And we are almost 100 people here, and I would be the only one who have ideas. I don't think it's really right. So let's begin with something. Can you ask yourself for a minute, a few seconds, what is collective intelligence for me? And why do we need collective intelligence? Okay, so you see, you're going to work too. It's not just you're going to listen to me, you're going to work too a little bit. So what is collective intelligence? And why do we need collective intelligence? If you have a few seconds to think about it, now I will propose you to turn to your neighbor, right or left, whoever you want, or behind you, and you will have, you can get closer, and you will have 2 minutes in order to share to your colleague. Why do we need collective intelligence? And for me, what is it? Okay? You see, you're going to work. So let's do it. You've got 2 minutes. Take the one on the left, or on the right, or behind, whoever you want, and just share. The other mic, they are open, or they need to open it? The other one.
You need to give that to them, but
Thank you. Je vais avoir besoin de vous pour que vous passiez le micro, parce que je vais faire des demandes, d'accord? Merci. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So, 2 minutes is not so much, but you will have more opportunity to exchange, okay, during the hour. So, we've got 2 mic here. Who would like to share? What is collective intelligence for you, and why do we need it? So just sharing. So it's just your idea. You don't need to be an expert, or maybe we are all experts today. So, what is alive now, please? And thank you for the first one.
So my name is Jean-Pierre. We had a three-way conversation, and we came to the conclusion that in three heads you have more information. So that's the reason why working together it's interesting and brings its value. And while you are with more, you can challenge each other. So you can learn from each other. Everybody has his specialty, so if you can share that in the group or in the team, that will certainly help.
Okay, so more ideas, you can share, challenge. Thank you. What about the others? What is collective intelligence and why do we need? Yeah, please.
So one of the thing we were thinking about was the fact that from many people emerges pattern that are not present at individual level. The example is insects, such as bees. One bee alone is rather a simple mechanism, but all together they can build big things and achieve a lot together.
Well, thank you very much. So something different can emerge. As an individual, maybe I can do great stuff, maybe not everything. When we are 2, 300, 1,000, well, something different can be there. Thank you very much. Something else? See how rich it is. I'm sure there is more. Yeah, please.
Your question made me think of an exercise that is sometimes given in some of these training courses where the story is you're stranded in the middle of the ocean or in the desert, and you get to choose 10 things that you would take along. And first, everybody does the exercise individually. You come up with your own list and you scored, and somebody has 73, somebody has 74, so based on the items you took along. And then you do exactly that same exercise with the whole group, a group of 10 people. You come up with another list, of course, and then always the team scores higher. And that could also, maybe that was our interpretation of collective intelligence, that you can actually prove that by putting your brains together, you can actually come up with better results.
Okay. So really it seems that it's a good idea if we try to tap into this collective intelligence. So, okay. I like this picture, and it says the flock is more than the sum of the birds. For me, the first time I really watched collective intelligence was a long time ago, I would say, when I was younger and I was watching, you remember the basketball, the Dream Team, the American Dream Team. And I remember I really had the impression that the guys were playing, and I really had the impression that I could see the ball going from a guy to another guy, but going to the basket, kind of alone. It was kind of magic. So it was really more than just the people who were there and their expertise, but something more than that, that the ball was kind of alive. She was going somewhere. So it's like an idea was coming, or we can do a metaphor with that. But for me, it's really what makes me feel like there is more than just people all together. And if we put them in a certain circumstances, or we give them certain rules, so we can have this kind of magic. So it's really what I would like to talk about during this hour. So concretely, I will be very concrete, because people ask me to be very concrete, and I love it, so it's great. So we're going to have two parts in this presentation. The first one is about participatory leadership, and I will show you 4 different tools that I use all over the world and with really many different kind of companies. And I think that the companies also I will name are some of your clients, so it's good also for you to know what your clients are doing. And we will really go into these tools and see why it's working. That will be the first part. The second part will be quite different. I always say that collective intelligence begins with the collective intelligence within myself. So we will do something very different and see what is it being collectively intelligent inside myself. How can I be collectively intelligent by myself? So that's a bit weird. I can see your face now, but you will see. It's going to be all right. Okay? Also, I will ask you questions sometimes, because I think it's more lively to have this kind of quick conversation. We will not take hours for conversation, but just to be sure you understand or something that needs to be said is said in the right time. Okay? So the first tools I want to share, please, there is a lot of place here, so you can come here, no problem. It's World Cafe. Have you ever heard about World Cafe or done a World Cafe? That's a nice name first. So nobody? Don't be shy. So what is a World Cafe? A World Cafe is really a special setup that helps a collective to go deep into a subject. So very concretely, what do? We invite the stakeholder of a company or of a project, so all the people who want to dive into this subject, we invite them to a World Cafe. And then we set up little table like this. You know, it's really look like cafe table. Like when you are in a cafe, you have a little table and you talk with somebody. So it's really like this. People arrive and they will go wherever they want in this little table. At the table, you will have paper, sweets or something to eat, and pen. And really, the rules are make dots, write whatever you need, make connection all together. Okay, that's really the rules. And then what are we going to do? We're going to ask the first question. So if the theme, I'm thinking about that now, is security, it's what comes to me. We want to talk about security, and that's the theme. And we want all the company or the project team to be really aware and make action about security. Everybody will know, they will talk about that. So we will begin with the first question about security. That most of the time is a question of what kind of great security would you see in your daily life, or something, a big question. And then we give them 20 minutes to just talk about this question. Okay? So 20 minutes the people are talking in the little table. After 20 minutes, the facilitator will say, okay, thank you very much. Now everybody's going to move, so all the people are going to change and go to a new table, except one person. I don't care who, but somebody who feel, okay, I can stay at my table for the moment. So everybody move, and then there are 5 minutes for this person that stay here to just tell to the other, well, for the first question, the big point was this, this, this. On the other, it's kind of debrief. They say, oh, that's funny. At my table, we talk about that too. Oh, we talk about this in a different way. So they have really a 5-minute kind of debrief. Okay. Then the facilitator will say, okay, everybody stay now. It's a kind of new group. And we'll go to a second question, a more deep question. Okay, that was a general one. And we go to something a bit more precise. And they also have 20 minutes to talk about it. They talk, they make drawing, dots, and then stop. Everybody move. Only one person stay, not the same one at the previous time. And they have 5-minute debrief. What did you talk about the second question? And then we're doing a third round with a third question, and most of the time the third question is really precise and help us to go to action, okay? And we're doing the round, and we don't have a debrief, but maybe we ask each table, okay, what are your action? And they will show with a post-it what are the action they came to. And then you come back in a big circle in order to share, how was this experience for you? What do you think about our team now? Okay, do you see the setup? Is it clear for you? So please say yes or no, because I don't read in the mind. I'm training very hard, but still I'm not there, yeah? So what kind of feeling do you have of this kind of workshop? What do you think it brings? It can make people feeling what, understanding what? What kind of feeling do you have of this first tool? I'm talking about feeling because you didn't try it, and it's just me talking. No feeling, eating. Yeah.
It looks like a tool that can enhance creativity and thinking out of the box, because you confront a lot of different angles, and I think that probably the first round is less less interesting because it's too general, but then when you funnel, you get to probably to the point with good ideas and a sense of community. So no isolation in how you're thinking.
Thank you very much. So that's so true. So, but still the first one is important because it gets everybody on board. And really, because we've got so many different angles, and also it's going quick, 20 minutes is not so long, and you are only 4 people in a table, meaning everybody can talk. If you are 10 people in a table, just forget to do that. It's not a well cafe, it's something else. But really, you have a sense of community, because you have been all talking about a subject. Maybe it's not your expertise, but you have a part of it. So really, in the end, you really have the people with a sense of community, like we know where we go all together. And also, wow, there is so much resources already in our ecosystem. That's really that. Somebody else want to say what they feel about these tools? No, it's fine. I would say try it. That's amazing. There is you can maybe feel it. There is a moment of chaos when we're doing this. Because when I say, okay, now everybody move, you can imagine, it's like everybody find a table. And we say, and all the other tools, most of the other tools use this chaos in order to make order, to make things mixed, and then you have more clarity, which is, I think, very interesting, because most of in our life, we try not to have chaos. But sometimes, in a specific way, we can use chaos in order to have innovative ideas and sharing experience. Okay? So let's move to the second one. Open space technology. So it's not open space that we call like we are in a work office. Somebody heard about open space technology? In French, we say forum ouvert. Is it familiar for one of you? No. Oh, so great stuff to discover. You're lucky. So open space technology is another architecture, so really a way of meeting all together. So the basic is that people are invited to join for, let's say, a day about a specific topic. And if they are invited to this specific topic, it's because they've got an angle and an action possible in this subject. They're part of the subject. So really, we need a very big biodiversity, diversity about the subject, because we want to see all the angles. So that time, we make it a bit different. There's no table. There's only a circle of chair, and people sit all together, and what we're going to do is we're going to co-create the agenda of the day all together. Can you imagine that? So here there is 100 people. You can do an open space forum with 20 people, with 100 people, with 1,000 of people. Okay, so really the size, you can have very big group, which is really interesting. So, and I see the, like, oh la la, what is she talking about? And so we are here, and you see there is paper and pen in the middle of the circle, and concretely there is a facilitator. So first there is a host who will explain why are we working here, which is the theme that we want to tackle today. And then there is a facilitator who will explain the rules and how it's going to work. I just give you here the principle. Maybe I will come back quickly to that, but I just want you for the moment to have the sense of the whole work. So after the rules, we ask people, okay, what subject do you want to work on today regarding this big subject? So what are your ideas you want to work on? And very easily, people are they're standing up, they go to the center, they take a paper and a pen, and they write their ideas in few words, and they tell it loud to everybody, and then they go to a big wall, like we can use this wall, they put a post-it with a place and a date, put it on the wall, and then come back to your place. So it means at least at around 20 minutes, we really have a full wall of workshop held by people who are interested in talking about this subject. Is it clear? Somebody is not clear what I've said? It's okay? So, and then, when it's done, we just tell them, okay, let's do your workshop. So everybody will go. We have a special, like a flip chart. A workshop is a flip chart with pen and with chair. That's my workshop. And then I can put my subject, and I begin to talk. And when it's like, for example, 1 hour talking, after the talking, I will write, I will go to a special place to type on the computer the very important point of my report. And then we will put this report on another wall so everybody can read and they will receive all the report. So can you imagine? And at the end of the day, we all come back together, also in this circle, and just to share how was it for me. And if we had action plan, I will not go into details, but we can also work on action plan with this system. Like the people who had an action plan will share the action plan with the others. Okay? So this is open space. Any question? First, am I clear? Is it clear in your head? It's not easy. You don't really have the sense of it because we are not in, so I'm just talking. But do you have the sensation of this tool? Please tell me. And if it's no, it's okay. I will manage. Thank you. Yes, please.
Yeah, the more people you have, I think the people who are afraid to say something will be silent and.
That's what we can imagine. So I will tell you a little story, okay? When we're doing this kind of work, of course, it's not like magic. There is hundreds of chairs and people are coming. There is pre-work before that, and there is a committee who will really think about what is the theme that we need to address, who are the people that we need to have all together, and so many stuff we need to work in advance and to make the invitation and all of this. So I've done open space, I think it was 3 years ago or something like that. It was 100 people. It was a company, and we were working with the committee. But of course, when I come into a company, I don't know the 100 people. I just know the people I've been working with, the little committee, so maybe it's 6, 7 people. And then we do the opening of the open space, so there is 100 people, and I finish to talk, and I sit down, and then somebody come and write the first agenda item. And I don't know her. She was a woman, but of course for me it's just somebody who is coming first, and then another one, and then like usual. And everybody go for the workshop. And then I'm just walking, and I meet the people from the committee that I know, and they are all coming to me like, Deborah, did you see who was the first one? So for the first one who asked me that was like, yeah, I've seen it's a woman, but a young woman, but I really don't know her. Yeah, this woman, she's so shy. We think she doesn't find her way in the company. She's got many ideas, and she's so shy. But with this setup, she was really eager to come and to say the words and to take a workshop by herself. So for me, that was the most valuable example that even for people who are very maybe shy or it's not easy, they will do it. So that's just an example, and take it as an example. The other thing is, and you're very right of that, why we need preparation for that? Because we need trust in the people. We need to be very clear how we're going to work and what are the rules, and that we're going to follow these rules. So this is very important. And we always say with the opens, and World Cafe is the same, we always need to tell in the organization what are we going to do with your work after that. It's not just work and then we will see. Then people don't want to give their energy, or they will give their energy, but they will be sad after that nobody take care of it. So it's very important. The preparation is very important to be sure that if we're doing that, it's because the people who organize this are really eager to follow this rule and to make something of it. And to let the leadership, if we ask for people to be in their leadership, to really after help them to continue being in their leadership. So it's very, very important, the trust. Thank you very much. Another sensation about this? No? It's okay? So open space technology, I will just go very quickly. The rules, I told you how important it is to give the rules. And my talk today is about new way of being together. And the rules are very important because the rule we give to each other are a way of being or not. They can allow or not allow the way of being together. So these rules are amazing. They are very simple. The first one is whoever comes is the right people. So it's really like if people are here and I'm doing a workshop, but the boss of the company is not at my workshop, it's okay. I know that the people who are at my workshop, they are the people who are passionate and very interesting about my workshop. So really, the people that are here are the right people. And maybe I'm alone at my workshop. I'm the only one. It's okay. So first you will see, maybe other people will come. And we don't have so much the opportunity to have maybe 1 hour, write a big paper and pens just to articulate what is important for me, okay? So really this principle, I always say, because when I facilitate, I explain these rules, and I always say, try this principle during the open space, but if it works, try it for your daily life. It will change your life, okay? So you can just take this. The second one is, whenever it starts is the right time. We've never seen innovation, creativity coming at 10 sharp. It doesn't exist. Creativity arrives when it's the good time to arrive. So maybe you need first a cup of coffee, go and grab a cup of coffee, and then do your workshop. That's a rule when we're doing open space. Whatever happened is the only thing that could have. Oh yeah, sorry. And whenever it starts is the right time, and when it's over, it's over. We plan 1 hour for the workshop, but maybe after 20 minutes, you feel it's done. You've been talking, you know, the energy of the group is low. Okay, move on. Do your report, go somewhere else, okay? And the last one, whatever happens is the only thing that could have. Oh gosh, that's such a simple sentence. But yeah, it helps us not to say like, I should have, they should do that, we didn't do that. You know, all these words, it's like, for me, it's the feeling is, when it's, you have the heater inside and you open the window, all the heat is going out. So this little sentence helps you to focus on what is now and keep your energy for you and the thing that you want to do. So that's the principle. And we've got a rule. If you are neither learning nor contributing, use your 2 feet to go somewhere else. For example, I'm in a workshop because I think it's such a great idea. But I'm just looking at, I don't know your name, but like Isabel is going there. Oh, it's such a long time I didn't see Isabel. So I'm thinking about her. I'm not here now, even if it's very interesting. So this will say, go and talk to Isabel. And I think it's more important for you now because it's what is alive. You see, that's an amazing rule. Can you imagine doing that with your meeting? Yeah. Can you imagine how the shape of your meeting will be different and the people during the meeting will be different? Because when you're there, it's because you are very happy and you really decide to be there. And when you are somewhere else, it's because you want to be somewhere else. So that's an amazing rule. And then we've got these 2 little animals, a butterfly and a bee. Somebody was talking about the bee. So the bee, you know, when there is the wall like this, you think, oh my God, there's so many very interesting workshops. I will go first to this one and then to this one, you know. She'll just go from one flower to another flower. So she really bring ideas, even if we didn't have the report. So we think it's good to be a bee. And the butterfly think, oh, so many stuff, it's so interesting, but now I need a cup of coffee. Or now I just need to walk a bit. Or now I need to talk to somebody. The butterfly take good care of his own needs. And we think, in open space, that it's really helping him and the community. So that's also part of the rules. What do you think of these rules? Are they clear for you? Yeah? What do you think about them? Any reaction? What do you feel about them? People told me you were very shy. So thank you very much for them who want us to talk, even if you are very shy. Any reaction? Oh, thank you. One is not shy. Thank you very much.
Just to open the discussion. The last one I like, you're neither learning nor contributing, use your 2 feet, right? Doesn't seem very realistic to me in a company environment that, you know, you would leave a group where you have been appointed to go and participate. The question of people will think, how will the others see myself, you know, the image you project, etc. So while I do understand the here and now, and it's much better to have the right people that want to talk about something around and not the kind of pollution for that particular discussion, but in practice.
Thank you very much. Yeah, please, come on. That's really the reaction we can have when we heard that. So that's why it's so interesting to be in an open space and to feel how it is when you're using this rule. I didn't give you example for World Cafe. I will come back. I'm facilitating open space for big company, for petroleum company, for example, for insurance company. I don't know if I can tell the name or not. I don't know, but meaning your clients, so you can see who we are talking about. Okay, they are using this kind of tool in order to have more creativity, more community for project or for strategy also, to have everybody on board for the strategy. So really for me, it's very strange. It's so different than the rule we use in a company for the moment, but the result is also very amazing. So, and normally I don't really talk about this. I'm facilitating this kind of event because being in this kind of event makes you a very big difference. Thinking about this kind of event can think, oh my God, that's very strange, okay? But yeah, that's the normal reaction, I would imagine, as long as you were not in. And also, because it's the rules, it means if I'm going out of a workshop, everybody agree that it's the rule. So it depends on the rule you give in a community, in a collective. It's very important. If the rule is the same for everyone, so it's different. If you're the only one who's doing it, yeah, it's not easy. Thank you. Okay, so let's move to the third one is Pro Action Cafe. It's a mixed. So Pro Action Cafe is really, well, when I say mix, we always start in circle, and what is different is Pro Action Cafe is really focusing on action. Pro Action Cafe, okay? On action, helping people who have a project or just an idea who want to become a project, a subject, to really help them to go deeply in their project, to help them, to support them with the ecosystem they are in. So what we do, when we are like this, we ask, so there is a pre-work also, but we ask some people who will be holding the project to just stand up and tell the project for few sentences, just to get the idea of a project, okay? So you just ask them to, say their name. If it's a big company, we were working with the water company, and there were people from Africa, Middle East, and Europe. So that's a team, you know, this EMI team, which are so geographically far away from each other. So they had one day all together in Paris, and we were thinking, how can we make this day really useful for them, that they can share ideas, and even if they are not expert on this country, but they are expert on the same subject, and they can share ideas. So they just all stand up, tell their names and their project. And then we go back to this idea of little table, so it's another setup, but now it's different. The one who holds the project, he will stay at this table for the 3 rounds, okay? It's like his table. And the other people, they just come and they know that their work is just to challenge the person, help him to think, give him idea, and it's the same rules. Connect dot, be kind, listen to the other, active listening, all these rules. And we go with 3 questions, but there are specific questions. The first question is really helping the person to answer to the why. Why do you have this project? What is your quest? Okay, so what is under this project? So for 20 minutes, they will help the project holder to think, why am I doing that? What is really the essence of that? And then after 20 minutes, clap. Everybody move, except the project holder who will stay. 5 minutes of debrief. And then we're going to the second question. What is missing for your project for the moment? And then people are sharing. 20 minutes. Clap. Everybody move, except the project holder. 5 minute debrief. And the third question, what is your next step? 20 minutes. So after this, it's almost everything, it's almost 2 hours. When we come back in the big circle, I just ask for sharing. So people holding the project can share, but also the other one. And being able to go from one project to another one is also very rewarding, not only for the project holder, but for the people who help, which is for me always very amazing. People who have been helping feel as happy as the people who have had all the information. So this is a pro-action cafe. So in the end, you really have the subject holder who have much more information, who met their colleagues in another way also. Is it clear for the setup of the pro-action cafe? Yeah? Do you have any question or feeling about that? Which is really more focused on action. Are you still alive? Yes, good. Okay, any reaction or question? No? So also we can do a pro-action cafe with very big group. You need, minimum is, can be like 20, because you need people around the order, but you can do with 200, 300, 1,000. That's really possible, okay? Just 4. Just 4, because if you are more than that, in 20 minutes, people will not be able to talk and to express. What we want them is really to be able to express themselves and to share. Okay? Yeah. But I can say it loud otherwise. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So exactly, the number between the project holder and the whole group, you need to divide it by 4 or 5. Exactly, thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, how do we choose the project holder? So, as I told you before, there is this pre-work with the committee, steering committee, and during this committee, we are working on which project holder we need, which is the thing that really how can I say, sorry. So with this committee, with the steering committee, we really pilot the whole day. So what purpose do we want? Is there a specific theme we want to work on and there is different project, or it's just whatever project is needed? So it's this committee who will work on that. There is another possibility, if we're not talking about people who know each other, things like that, you can also do something different, but people need to understand what will happen during the day. And when you are here, you will explain and you will say, I've got 20 tables today available, so I need 20 project holders. And then they stand up, but you need more time here to have them say loud their project. It's okay? Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on. I will go very quickly, but I love these tools. Storytelling. I don't know if there is marketing people here, but there is also a storytelling in marketing, which is not the same as storytelling in facilitation, just to be clear. So the storytelling is really the goal to explain the story of a company, of a department, of an association, so of a collective, through the time, in order to really make it more real for people. So what we're doing is, we say the older person of the company will tell a story, like a normal storyteller. And it will be help with people if needed, like if I say, yeah, and then in 2001 we open our Russian office, and the person is there, maybe the person will continue explain a bit about this Russian office, and then come back to the main storyteller, okay? So really we will say it will last maybe 40 minutes to talk about the story of the collective. And what we're gonna ask is, we're gonna ask 5, 6, 7, 10 people to listen to the story with a specific angle. So maybe I will ask you to listen to the story with just the date, you know, in the chronology of our story. I will ask you to listen with the angle of our challenges. Somebody else, our partners during all this journey. Okay, so different angle. When the story is over, so we are in a circle. When the story is over, I will ask the first person to tell us, okay, what did you write? And I will say, do we miss something? Do we need to add something with this specific angle? And then I will do a turn of clarification, maybe something is not clear. So let's clarifying this. And reaction. That's a very powerful tool. Just doing a round of clarification, so we are sure we are all talking about the same stuff. So many meetings, we are talking about many stuff, but we don't agree on really what is the basic for everybody. And then a reaction round. And reaction doesn't mean that I will pop up on your reaction. Everybody's got the right to just say what is alive for himself, okay? And that's give a lot of information for the whole group. And if you're doing that with all the different angles, at the end, it's amazing. It's like everybody now is very clear about the journey of the collective and also had the chance to express how it was for them. Maybe a part was sad, maybe it was a happy moment, maybe it was difficult. So the expression, we use the emotion of people to be there. It's not it's not chaos, it's very well organized. But they had everybody had the possibility to really express, and as we say, put in the middle, in the collective, what is alive for them. So storytelling is great when you're gonna face a big change. When you need to see the future, I always say, no, okay, it's great to go to the future, but it's good to know where we were, what we did already, and then we can have the energy to go further. So it's really, for me, it's great when there is a leader who is leaving, for example, and we need to have more strength, or we're moving, or, a very important change in a company or in a collective. Is it clear for storytelling? I'm going very quick. Yeah? Any reaction? Oh, you see what I'm doing. I'm asking for clarity and then a reaction. So easy tool. Okay? Good. So what we have in common with this tool is really the diversity, to always invite the stakeholders of the subject we want to work. So collaboration is really much more better and powerful when we have different angles, okay? We have a subject and life is so complex for the moment, and it will continue like this, that we need different person to handle. It's not possible anymore, I'm sure you can see it, to handle everything. So we need the expertise, we need the different angle of a subject to be in the same room. So that's the idea of diversity. And the more diverse person you have on the same subject, the more clarity and innovation you will have, or deep in understanding. All these tools, we are a same value is equity. So equity is not for me the same of equality, which is different, equity. Equity means, because we're all different, and I think it's a great value to be all different with our specificities, but equity means we are all on the same level. So when I'm talking, it's as much important as my boss is talking or somebody else. We all have the place to talk and to share our differences. So when you are in a circle, it's really for me, the circle is the very easy way to see we are all on the same level. Yeah, we can talk about that. You see how we are, how this room is made. This room is not made for equity. This room is made for I know and you listen. Do you see this? Do you see the architecture? Which is very uncomfortable for me because I don't believe in that. I don't believe that I know and you listen. I believe that I know something, you know something, and we can share and improve the topic we want to talk about. Okay? It's very interesting because also when I say talk to each other, it's easy when you are just two. But if I was saying, okay, now people who want to talk about this, go there, people who want, you see the mess because you cannot move the table and the chair, so that will not be possible. We cannot use the space as we want, as we need to. We can use this space as one way. That can be useful, and we can be thankful. It's a beautiful place too, but it's only one way. There's something we cannot do. We couldn't do an open space here. Even for me, if I would just ask you to be in a circle, because the energy is so different, and I could say everything exactly the same in a circle, you will not have the same experience, but I cannot do that. because we cannot move the table and the chair. Okay? So it's very interesting. How do I set up a room, and what do I want to energize with this setup? And we were talking about very different setups. Deep conversation. So all these tools are really provoking deep conversation. 20 minutes on a subject that are interesting for people. You go really in something deep and very quickly. Open space technology is all about conversation with myself, with the others, in big group. We're talking about freedom. You know, all the rules we gave are really giving more and more freedom for people. Even if World Cafe, Pro Action Cafe, okay, they are more strict in a way. We say go to a table, but go to the table you want. So it's really talking also with the helping people to be freedom, with the leadership of people when I hold all the workshop, all the question, using the space. I've been talking about that. From chaos to order. So all these tools, we also have a moment of chaos, but we think it's good. Because chaos helps us not to think in a only linear way, but to use our mind in a different way. I will pick up a subject, not because it's at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock, but because I just see it or I bump into somebody, okay? So we use chaos. We work with passion. Yeah, the subject I'm holding is because I want to. It's not because somebody telling me to go there, which is very different too, okay? So, for my time, we are on time because it's almost 1, so we still have 15 minutes. So is it okay for you to go to the second part? It's more the collective intelligence inside myself. So yeah, I call it meeting myself. So let's start with a little exercise. So if you can be, make trio. So it's very short exercise also, but now make trio, and I know it's not easy with this room. And really, you will turn. So every one of you, you will have 2 minutes. And you will share something that you think is interesting about you, okay? It doesn't have to see with the work, especially, and nobody will share it in big group after, okay? It's just for the exercise. So if I'm the one who starts, I'm the one who talk about something that I like very much or is very unusual about me, okay? And the other, you are listening without comment and without feedback. You get that? That's strange, okay? Without judging, without comment, without feedback. I mean, you try to do that. And after we will do a debrief on how it was. Is it clear? And we do, so I will be a little less than 2 minutes, but 1 minute I'm talking, the other are listening, and then stop. The other one is talking, the other are listening. So everybody will be in the place of listening or in the place of talking in this situation. We try that quickly? So please make a group of 3, trio. Allez, 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 allons-y. Okay, so first one, please share, and the other one, you are listening without judging, without comment, without feedback. Okay, so let's go. You've got 1 minute. Share something interesting, something valuable from you. If you are only 2, you can do it also. Do it if you are only 2, you can do it also. Okay, stop for the first one. So now the second one is sharing something important. Please remember the others. That's for you the most difficult. Listen without judgment, without feedback, without comment. 1 minute. Okay, stop. I know it's very, very quick. So the last one, please share. I know some group will have some trouble, but so last one, please share, and the other, listen without judgment, comment, feedback. Let's go, 1 minute. But you turn. Somebody didn't do it. Okay, stop. So please come back to your place and we're going to debrief. You can thank your colleague. Thank you for the work and come back. And normally you all work in Swift, so you will have more time to talk. Don't worry. That's just for the... The good news is you know each other. Okay, so how was it? Just a quick debrief. How was it? Difficult. Why?
The time, 1 minute, to be honest.
That's
I'm old, so, huh? Come on.
Okay, difficult the time. What? Yeah, it's better.
What was difficult for me was not the time, but the feedback. At least you say, oh, it's good.
Oh,
we cannot do that.
excellent. It was difficult not to give feedback.
Not to give a feedback or a comment, or at least, oh, nice. No feedback.
Great. Okay, thank you. Somebody else?
I loved it because through the three, not discussions, but explanations, I found a same theme amongst ourselves of how we want to serve Swift.
Oh.
And that I love because then I want to know more and to exchange more.
Okay, so maybe you can, if I heard well, you had in only 1 minute or 3 times 1 minute, deep conversation.
It wasn't deep, however, some key words pointed to a joint, passion or strong wish.
Great.
In how we want to contribute. So just a keyword, it's an open door to get to know more.
In 1 minute, 3 times 1 minute. Think about your meetings. Sometimes they take 2 hours and you don't know what you were talking about. Just like, it's not you, it's just the way everybody works. How was it for somebody else? Thank you very much for this feedback. How was it to talk without feedback or comment or judgment? The person who were talking, how was it for you? Now I wonder if you were in the room. Yep.
Well, I had the impression that they were interested in my talk, so that pushed me to continue to talk. Sometimes you are in a meeting and with your colleagues and you say, well, they are not interested, they have their own day-to-day tasks, so my problem is not their problem. So here they were listening to me.
Yeah.
And on the other side, when I had to listen, at a certain moment I was ready to intervene because I had an idea, but okay, I was not allowed to intervene, so that was a difficult situation.
Great. So it's very interesting. Sometimes people talk about this little voice we have inside. No, really. When I say not judgment, it means that you will not say something, even your idea, you just keep listening. That's listening. No judgment. Nothing like my own business. I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat tonight. No. Nothing, not judging, no, not just taking. Somebody else, and we're going to move.
When we were speaking, it was nice because we were not speaking about work. We were really disconnected from Swift, and we were really speaking about personal ideas.
So authentic talk. Even if we talk about work, it can be authentic, but this idea of say something special is when you connect to something special about you, it's really authentic. You want to share something. Okay, so that's just a little exercise because what I want to introduce is really the collective intelligence for me is really starting with myself. And with myself, I've got different parts. We can say, when I listen to somebody and I say not judging, part of me is not working. Well, for some people it's difficult. This part was ready to do something. But for me it's a way to see that we've got different parts inside ourselves. And that can be this idea of this little voice, and some people, they have like kind of a judge in their mind, you know, they always something who always say, it's good what you're doing, it's not good, it's good, it's not so. Somebody's got this voice in his head? Yeah, thank you, most of us. So we've got different parts. And sometimes we've got like, you get very crazy about something, and it's like you're not more an adult anymore, like you're really acting like somebody crazy or a child. Okay, that's also a part inside yourself. So one of the tools that was very, very interesting for me is internal family system. So really to be aware that we have this different, like a big collective inside myself, and how do I use it in a good way? How do I have a good family system that my judging part, my working part, and we can extend to my mom part, my family part, my happy friend part, or whatever, my passionate part, they can all live well together. Do you understand what I try to say? So really we have all different parts inside ourselves. And for me the first part, great, the first step is to make them work together well. Work collectively well. Because if I don't take care of one part, that will jump into my face sooner or quicker. Okay, we are in the Wellbeing Week. Well-being, we're talking a lot more now about well-being because there is also a lot of burnout. And it's really something now that pop up everybody. And maybe you know somebody who had burnout, maybe you had burnout yourself. For me, burnout is also how my part can really work well together and not working only with the working girl part or something else, you know, but really be more collectively inside myself, feeling it's a team. And it works for everybody, and it works for what I have to do. So that's the first thing I want just to touch with you. And the other one is also to be more clear. So my diapositive was this one, the different part, just to show you because I've been. So the idea, like the activist, if I'm working with the NGO, and it's more like the team, it's if I'm doing some sport, or I've got many things in my life, but also only in the workspace, you've got different part of yourself. Like if I'm very concerned about ecology and in my daily work, my manager asks me to do something that will not go in this direction, how do I manage inside myself? How do I make the working girl, working woman, talking with the ecologist woman? What do they say? And in the end, what am I going to act? How am I going to act outside? You know, the inside world is also in direct relation with the outside, what I'm going to say, do, not do, express, propose. So that was the idea. That's the manager part, you know, different part. That's the first step. The second one for me is more this picture, is also to make you aware, but in 15 minutes it's not easy, that we've got different intelligence, and we are all so different. People are very, mental, thinking. Everything is very direct for them. Other people are more visual. You need to see something in order to get the information. Others need to move. You can see, I didn't sit in this chair. I need to move. That's my way of feeling the group, of talking, of being more aware of myself and the collective. So I'm a kinetic person. Put me in a chair for 8 hours, I'm sad. I can be depressed. I will not work well. I need to walk sometime. I need to go out. And then I make a good job. So that's really the way I'm learning, and that's my relation with the outside. there are more people who are, yeah, I've listened, this way I like. People are a specific intelligence, meaning that they really always ask the question, why? It's really something, it's natural for them always to, it's more existential intelligence. So it's very interesting, because we're talking a lot about spirituality. I always say that in France it's difficult to talk about spirituality, it's like a bad word, but I think in Belgium it's better. So spirituality for me is really my relation with myself and with the outside, connected to the bigger element, which is the community, the nature, and that can have more other names for others, but for me this is the outside, the wholeness. So there is this kind of intelligence. For people it's easy to connect with himself and with the other. Okay, so just, it's a very quick, and I really get that it's a lot of information, but it's just for me to be aware of collective intelligence is not only about a collective outside. It's also about knowing me better, knowing my collective better, and there is many ways for that. Yeah, that's the body intelligence. Some people are so good with their body, like really doing stuff. And that's a kind of intelligence. It's easy to see it with children, I think. I've got two boys, one is 6 years old. He's really in his body. He's doing stuff with his body. I don't know how to say it, but it's really a part of his life, of his way of expressing. In a workshop, in an office, when we work in big organization, most of the time we just forget the body. We are seated in our chair, which means we're not aware about what's happened with my feet, with my stomach, with all of this, okay? And there is many tools, and I'm sure you know them. One tool that really helped me to know me better is nonviolent communication, the Marshall Rosenberg. Maybe you've heard. We call it communication assertive aussi. Yeah, some of you heard about, maybe there is training, I don't know. There's training here? Gosh, there is training in Swift. So for me, that was really a hit in knowing me more, my grammar, my inside grammar, and to realize that, yeah, other people have the same grammar or not, and we can communicate. So for me, all this tool is great to know me better and to be in a better relation with the other. Another tool for me was great was MBTI. Do you know it? Okay, great. So I don't know how they teach you MBTI, but for me, really the person who make me the survey and then the talk really helped me to open my eyes to the world. It was like, okay, I'm introvert and there is extrovert. And it's not because they are crazy, they're talking about something and then in the same sentence about something else. It's because they make him up their idea. And that was so interesting for me, because otherwise I was like, what is he talking? He doesn't know what is he talking about. But when I had this information, it was such a different world for me. So really the MBTI for me helped me to understand how I was working. Yeah, on Friday evening when I'm tired, I just want to be with myself reading a book. Because I'm an introvert, I take my energy inside. And if I am with somebody who is extrovert, is always telling me, let's go to the pub, let's have some friends at home, or this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh no, that's really not what I feel I want to do. But I like my friend, I like the people who are around, but right now, so for me it was really strange. I was like, which kind of woman I am, you know? I don't want to see my friend on Friday. Yeah, because on Friday night when I'm really tired, I need to be in my bubble, and that's the way I can take energy. So when you know that, and you can share that, it's so different. You can organize yourself. You can organize, how can I have this time, and do also other stuff. So, you know, for me, all these things are really helping to know me better, and to understand the other better, and to work or to live, because we're talking about work, but we know that our life is not only work, but it's also with the family, with friends, with community, so it's helping with all of that. I put meditation, centering, breathing. We're talking a lot about meditation now, and I think it's really great. That's also something that helped me a lot, to really feel that I can just be present and let the talk or let the things go and be aware of what happened. It's helped me also with my body, to be aware of my body. When I just stop and meditate, it's like I remember I have a body, which is a good news, I'm a human, okay? So I don't know if you've got the experience of meditating, but really for me it's a big help. And since September, something new happened for me. I've got two boys, and the older one now go alone at school. Big change. We are really across the school, but I've got 30 minutes now alone with the little one, and because we go a bit after. So when I've got these 30 minutes, I take 10 minutes, and now it's very clear. I take my iPhone, I put 10 minutes, you know, in the, I don't know how to name it, timer, and I just sit, do the 10 minutes. When there is the ring, I just do what I have to do. And my little boy is playing for 10 minutes, and he's very happy. He's like, "Mommy, do you you doing your yoga? I want to play." That's not yoga, but for him it's yoga. Okay, so now this really helped me to have a very 10 minutes is nothing, but it was difficult for me when I was with the two boys, and you know, this morning it's so now I've got a routine that helped me to really have this in my life. And I think it's very important to have different routine, because our life is so different from one year to another, from 1 month to another sometimes. But what do I need? And it really helped me to be more focused during my day, more present to myself, and also to my priority. Okay, so that was what I wanted to share with you. I think we are on time. It's 1:18. Thank you very much. I just want to ask you this question. After this talk, what's next for you? What do you think you will take back with you of this presentation? And you don't have to share, because I know about the time, but I just keep asking you questions. You know, as a coach, we love that. So what kind of tools do you want to use? What kind of intelligence do you want to strengthen? What kind of life do you want to create?
I have a question for you. I think in the way this session was introduced, there was also a point made about, maybe the survey is not the best way to go and capture ideas and feedback from people on certain topics. And when, for example, so a very pragmatic question compared to the techniques you have shown us. If you want to do a survey on how, to the company, for example, on how your group has performed to the service of the company after X years existence, do you see any of those tools being really relevant to replace such a survey, especially when you have the global dimensions and the different geographies, or the survey seems to still be the best way to go for in that
goal?
Particular feedback?
What is the goal of the survey? What do you use it for?
I think that the role of the survey will be to see how to make the group evolve in the type of in the prioritization, in the scope of what is done. So it's really to get community intelligence into the strategic evolution of the topics.
So I don't know very much about the survey. Now, when you're talking about the strategic evolution and making people all together, I would go for open space. But you can do different open space in different locations, really thinking like people, okay, what is the strategy for the next 20 years or something like that? So that can seem big, but then you have not only the information, but you have people who hold projects, who are really inside. All these tools we've been talking about, for me, they are really much more than just in the end of an open space of 200 people, yeah, maybe you've got 55 reports. That's great, and 25 or 30 action plan. That's great, but for me, that's not really the best of the open space. The open space makes that people are really connected together. They really have the energy to go in the direction that we co-create all together. And they know who they want to talk with, because they were in the same workshop or almost. So it makes really people being together, it makes people being in their leadership and really in their aim to do what they seem is important for them. So a survey, I'm really not an expert in survey, but I know that a survey, the difficulty sometimes is the time that you have the question and then the result and the system maybe had changed. But also it doesn't give the opportunity to people to really be in the action. What I like with this tool is they are really in the action. They are really with the people who have the same goal or the same purpose. Yeah. So I'm not sure to answer your question.
Yeah, at the same time, my first reaction is this takes a lot of organization, a lot of time, and it's difficult to have all the people together, free their time, to talk about that same subject. While a survey, an e-survey, while you launch it, it's much easier to
so
manage
I'm sure
in
it's
some way.
complementary, but so I cannot say anything that my experience, and this is much more efficient because people are together and they're really like a pro-action cafe. After 2 hours, there is maybe 15 projects. They are so far away from where they were. And maybe they will not meet the other anymore, like it's when it's an EMI zone, they will not meet anymore. But really, this was a specific moment. They really add value all together. So this is really present time. So I always say we need to be aware of what exists and then to collaborate with different tools also. So a survey can be a step. And most of the time after this kind of work, we're doing also survey or for the follow-up or for things like this. But what you have with this is really the ability to meet and to connect and in a real life on real subject. You can do open space by platform also now. I've never done it, but I know that there is also digital tools that can help doing this stuff with different area in different setting of time. So that exists also. And I know people that's really so the adventure for everybody. We don't have time. And I always get when you say, okay, I want to do something like this. Yeah, you need to have time. But what are you doing with your time? And this kind of time is so useful. At the end of this kind of day, most of the people feel energized. Feel really, it was very interesting for them to be there. And ils ont gagné du temps. Yeah, exactly. So, and maybe that will be the conclusion. For me, I love to talk about this, but really the change, I can see it when people have the experience of it. So that's really the difficulty of that. It's another way of being together. And for all the new stuff, you need to try. And there is Pioneer, these tools exist for almost 30 years now, which is not much. It come from the States, from Belgium, from different part of the world. They are used all over the world. There's no like a specific culture who can use it. In Asia, in Africa, in Europe, America, South America. So it's really all over the world. But it's still, we can say, new, even if we talk a lot about it and there is more and more company who are working with it, but it's still a new way of working. And as everything that is new, you need Pioneer to really use it, Pioneer to use it to make really good use of it. And we didn't have time to talk about it, but I just want to say a word about it. What I've not been talking about is participatory governance. Because it's great to have this tool, but if you come back to your company and the decision-making are not collaborative, then you come back to the old system. So there is great tools for the moment and many to learn and maybe to invent of participatory governance. How do we collectively take decision that is useful for the company, that is useful for the people? But I guess it will be next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deborah.
So